This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by lynda.com. Hello Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Ask the Buffalo, the show where you can ask me, Ashley Esqueda, any question you might have from the wide world of technology. Every Tuesday we put up a call for questions on technobuffalo.com. You can leave your question in the post comments. Otherwise, send them to me any time of the day or night on Twitter at technobuffalo or at Ashley Esqueda. Just use the hashtag AskTheBee so I can see it. I usually answer around 4 questions every episode, so let's get answering because this is Ask the Buffalo. Will asks, hi Ashley, I own a late 2013 MacBook Air 13-inch and I am getting into the YouTube world. Find me at Everything Tech 131. What software do you advise me to get for video editorial and special effects? I already own iMovie on my Mac. Love the site and shows. Well, Will, congrats on your YouTube channel, and I love your shameless plug. That's how you gotta be on YouTube. You gotta be shameless about plugging your site, so you're already on the right track. As for video editing, so you have a few options. Obviously, you do have iMovie, which you can use. I personally am not a fan of iMovie, but that's because I was sort of brought up on bigger editing suites, so Avid, Sony Vegas, Premiere, things like that. So for me, I would say if you would like, your cheapest option for a better video program, video editing program would be Adobe Premiere Elements, which is not quite Adobe Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is a little more expensive. You would have to subscribe to Creative Cloud, which is Adobe's cloud service. But you could do that. You could also shell out the money for Final Cut Pro X. But I would say if you're just getting started, maybe shell out the cash for Adobe Premiere Elements and then upgrade to either Final Cut Pro X or Adobe Premiere as you see fit. So that's my advice to you, and good luck with your YouTube channel. At RCAB9 asks, hey Ashley Esqueda, will Apple gain their lost consumers by just bringing in big screen iPhones? This is a good question. I think that they're gonna bring back some people that maybe they've lost to Android, bigger screen Android devices and Windows Phone devices. However, it's not going to be just big screen phones. I actually really do think that for Apple to really gain that ground back that maybe they lost to people who left for larger screen Android phones, one of the greatest things about Android is widgets. Like, that is my absolute #1 thing that I miss from being on Android as my daily driver. I use an iPhone 5S now, and that's the one thing I really do miss. Everything else is kind of neither here nor there, and I feel like there are equivalents for every mobile operating system. But for me, widgets is one thing that is really missed in iOS, or something to that effect. So we have a widget system in OS 10, and I actually think that iOS 8 is a really good opportunity for them to sort of push forward with something a little bit different for a larger screen size. I think that the icon system has worked really well, but if you're gonna go 4.7-inch and bigger, you gotta have something else on that screen. I mean, at least that's what I think. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a giant grid, and that's kind of weird. Sam asks, do you believe that Titanfall is a true Call of Duty killer? They said the same thing about Battlefield 3, and look how that turned out. Has anyone at the office played the beta? If so, did they enjoy it? Thanks. A lot of people at the office have, in fact, played the Titanfall beta. It is fantastic. It's really, really fun. I definitely think the Call of Duty series is getting a little bit stale. I think that there's kind of that annual cash grab feel to it at this point, where it's not quite polished enough or innovative enough for people to really kind of go crazy for it like they did for Black Ops 2, which was a huge deal. But I definitely think Titanfall is going to be one of those console sellers for Xbox. I think this is like one of the things that Xbox really has their fingers crossed for. And even though Titanfall is coming out for Xbox 360 in addition to PC and Xbox One, I think Microsoft is hoping that you are going to go ahead and bite the bullet and go out and pick up an Xbox One and get Titanfall, because you're going to want to play at the highest resolution possible with your friends. But honestly, it's really great, and I think that the games journalism community would not be talking about it so much if it wasn't so good. So if you guys are thinking about getting into app development or some other facet of the business of technology, you should definitely check out lynda.com. You can learn it at lynda.com, an online learning company with more than 77,000 video tutorials that teach things like software, creative, and business skills. Membership starts at just $25 a month, and you get 24/7 access to high-quality video courses taught by expert instructors. Videos range from bite-sized tutorials all the way to comprehensive courses in a variety of subjects, including app development, so you can finally code that really cool app you've always wanted to make. Maybe you're the next WhatsApp. Maybe you're going to make $16 billion. If you do, send me a check for recommending lynda.com. We have a special offer if you want to check out lynda.com. Techno Buffalo fans get a free 7-day trial by visiting lynda.com/technobuffalo. They add new courses all the time, so it's always a great time to start. That's lynda.com/technobuffalo. Siddish Pi asks, hey Ashley, do you think Google will surely kill the Nexus series? If yes, will they launch a new line or what? This is a great question. There have been a lot of rumors that Google is going to kill off the Nexus series. Actually, here's what I think. So if you have not seen the movie Blade Runner, the line of replicants that are the replicants that these 4 main models are based off of in the film are Nexus 6. So I think there's a little bit of a conflict there. I know that they already had issues with Nexus 1 and there was sort of this thing, or Nexus 2, I'm sorry. Notice we never had a Nexus 2, and that's why. So because of Philip K. Dick's estate and do Android Stream of Electric Sheep, all this other stuff, lots of copyright issues with the name Nexus, and there are a couple of choice numbers that can't really be added to it without some pretty serious licensing things. So the next phone in the line of Nexus devices would technically be the Nexus 6. But I think because of Blade Runner, we're not going to see a Nexus 6. And this might be Google's opportunity to really say, okay, well, we're going to have to think of a different line name for our devices. Maybe they're going to be Google Play Edition devices. Maybe we just won't see the Nexus line anymore and it'll just say, here's the Google Play Edition, you know, Motorola phone or whatever. Or Lenovo, I guess now. These companies buy each other so quickly. But yeah, so I think that the Nexus 6 issue actually is going to be sort of a death by necessity, something that they're either going to have to shell out a lot of licensing money for or change the name. And I think changing the name is really the better solution for them in the long run. Well, that's it for Ask the Buffalo. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to us on YouTube. We'd really appreciate that. And if you want the latest and greatest technology news and videos, you can always head over to technobuffalo.com. I'm Ashley Esqueda. John will be back with you next week, and he will see you then. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you are dying to get more of the latest and greatest tech, you should definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on this giant magical subscribe button right beneath me, or you can check out some other videos by clicking right over here.